Right then, peepolers. Just as my phone goes off. Classic timing. Anyways, time for an update on the Cincinnati Bengals rig for Von Blade. Right, at the moment, I'll bring you in and have a look. I'm trying to keep out the way of the light. I'm trying to work out how I'm going to be doing all of the looping and everything. Really, I should turn the CPU block round to make it a bit tidier, but I want to keep the Watercooling logo the right way up, because this is the inlet, and if I'd had the inlet on the top, then I would have used a 90 to come out this way and then come round to the radiator, because as it stands at the moment, we've got the reservoir, and then what we're doing is having reservoir out, point the camera the right way, reservoir out, down to the pump, which is hidden in there, trust me, reservoir out down to pump up into this side of the radiator, obviously gets cooled and then comes out this side of the radiator, it comes down to the CPU comes out, goes down to the graphics card comes out, and then there'll be a loop coming up here going back into the reservoir again. Nice and simple loop. I've put the I've put the pump in the drive base to help it keep that little bit tidy, because if I had put the pump down in the floor, then you would have had all the much bigger loop. So this way I can keep quite a few kind of interchanges in between the reservoir and the radiator out the way, so it kind of keeps the water cooling loop up towards the top. And people always moan when I do that and swallow and stuff. I can't help it. Stop fucking moaning about it. You piss me off. Rah! Anyway, pardon my French. Anyway, here we go. Yes. So I'm just trying to work out the loop order and stuff like that, and I think I'm going to go with it the way it is. So yes, I think it will probably be alright. What I'm going to try and do on this video is get it looped up, get some coolant in there, so we can see the kind of colours and the way my head's been working with the way the colour should work on this. And then it will be time for me to start trying to get this massive cabling tidy. I'm hoping to try and get as much as I can done on this week, so I can send it out to VB next week. So yeah, hopefully it should look alright. I have still got to do the polishing on the front, but I can't really do much about that at the moment, because I want to get like the insides done before I start doing the tarty bits. But I'm going to leave this video here. I'm going to break my hose cutters out, and yeah, we'll see how it looks in a second. Looks like orange juice. Yes, I haven't plugged the microphone in. Right then peeps, it's all bled. It's been running overnight now. I've got it all sorted. I know the colours don't match, but do you know what I mean? That's the best I could do with what I had available. Loop is all in there and done. This long bit of hose here is a bit longer, so that the reservoir can still come out. As you can see, I've put the pump in the front, kept all the hose tidy and out the way. Now I've still got the tissue in there where I'm bleeding it, and that's the power supply on that side. It's just a slave unit. It's actually used a lot of coolant. I'm massively surprised with this one. I've used over 2 litres of coolant. From the colour that I did get sent from Mayhem's, I have had to add a lot of red and yellow dye into it to get the colour, as you can see it in the hose. If you have a look, the colour in the hose and the colour in the front are very different. Yeah, so I've actually made the colour to the colour that's in the hose there now, rather than what's in the front. because the colour that came out of the bottle just, it didn't really cut the mustard. It looked more yellow than anything. It was actually quite horrible. As you can see, I've still got to do all the cable tidying and everything like that, but the hosing up and the bleeding was the biggest job left to do. So it's a case of now the biggest things that I've got left to do now. I'm probably going to put the hard drives in the hard drive bays rather than trying to get them out, because like I said, I've put the pump in the drive bay now to keep things looking tidier. Need to do all the wiring, put the RAM in, but the last big job that I've got to do is cut the acrylic window. Yeah, when I cut the acrylic window, I can fit that in the side. I need to do a little bit of touching up where the water cutting was done around the window, but other than that, it's we're kind of over the last hurdles really. I need to spend like another afternoon on it at some point in between doing my reviews. But yeah, I think the biggest thing was I was quite surprised how much coolant this thing has drank. Normally I use just over 1 litre, but this seems to have just consumed loads. I understand that the reservoir is quite big, but it still surprised me. But oh, and something else I need to do, I've just remembered, is I still need to polish the bay covers and the front shield. So there's a couple of hours work as well. So there is actually a fair bit to do. Hopefully I'll have this finished over the weekend. Worst case scenario, it'll be sometime next week now. I really want to get this one finished so that I can start doing the Nürburgring again. Yeah, but this is yeah, like I said, just a quick update so you can see what's going on. I am quite happy with the way the old coolant and the hosing and everything's looking. I've not used too many kind of like fancy fittings or anything, because one thing that VB said to me is that he wanted to be able to see it, so not necessarily have it as the tidiest possible loop in the world. He actually wanted to be able to see the hose, which, let's face it, with this tube here anyway, is the way it is, because it had to be a bit longer so that the res can still come out. But I think he'll like it. I've obviously kept the loop pretty much in the top half of the case anyway. I didn't see any point in dropping the pump down into this kind of area and making it messier. So we are, oh, I best stand over here so you can't see what's going on in the background. We are a step closer to completion. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here, get it uploaded for you quick, and then get on with what I actually should be doing today. I am testing something, but oh look, it's hidden.